Well, hello again, Noles fans. Jeff Culhane back here with you a month into his role as the head men's basketball coach at Florida State University. He ain't slowing down, I can promise you that. Luke Loucks is with us, and always great to see you and talk to you. How's it been? Give people an update on what your life has been like over the last 30 days.
I don't want to say chaotic, but it's been moving fast. There's been a lot of moving parts, both with staff, with roster, getting resettled into the city. Even though everyone asked me, I went out to the Final Four. Everyone asked if we're settled yet, and I absolutely not. We're living like frat guys right now as a staff. All of our wives and kids are back where we came from. You know, finishing out school, but it's given us a chance to hit the ground running and try to rebuild this roster and set the tone for what our vision is going to be for the following season.
Yeah, it's exciting times, that's for sure, as we follow along with Coach and as his staff has become assembled, his roster continuing to get built, and as we have talked, you've brought in some big-time assistants that have Florida State ties, and obviously a guy that you know very well, and Michael Fly, returns to Florida State, and that's someone that I know you trust a lot and you're going to lean on quite a bit, obviously, with his experience and with his knowledge of college basketball.
Yeah, all of our assistants I'm really excited about. You mentioned Fly. He was one of my first hires. He was here at Florida State when I played here, so I knew Fly when he was 25, 26 years old, just getting into the coaching profession under Leonard Hamilton. He did a year or two in the NBA with Charlotte, but Coach Hamilton basically gave him his start in college basketball, and I was fortunate enough to start as a player at the same time, and we bonded, and I always appreciated his work. His work ethic was second to none. No task was too small, and nothing's changed. And he's gone on to be a high-level assistant for both Andy Enfield and Dennis Gates, but also a head coach. And he knows what it feels like to sit in my seat. So I'm really excited about Fly and what he's brought to the table. He's hit the ground running, recruiting, organizing, helping me in a lot of different ways. Gerald Gillian's another assistant. Those two were the first two assistants I've hired. He has a lot of Florida ties, both with his family and his path, but he also graduated from Florida State. So he's a Florida guy through and through. And same with Fly. He's risen up through the coaching ranks, was a head coach at Chicago State. While he was at Chicago State, they had some of the most successful years in history with him being a head coach. So again, another guy that knows what this seat's about and knows how to support and help me. From there, we hired a guy named Chris Kent, a lot of NBA ties. Chris was also at Florida State. He was a GA and student manager. Again, Coach Hamilton gave him his start. And someone that when I came back to visit, both as a professional player and a coach, Chris was always super impressive with the way he worked, with the way he handled players, with the way his workouts were on the court. I really enjoyed watching him as a young coach. He got in the NBA with the Chicago Bulls for 5 years, most recently with the Portland Trail Blazers for the last 2. So he'll be one of my assistants that will run player development for us. And then 2 more hires, one being Omaro Morgan. He's coming from the University of California, Berkeley, so familiar with the ACC. He's from, he coached at Loyola Chicago when they were with their great run, Sweet 16 teams. And similar to all of us, we have a young staff that is highly energetic, can connect with players and their families with recruiting. But I wanted that on our staff, a really tight-knit group that can work hard, work together, and have a lot of fun. And then my last hire will be my associate head coach. That's not announced yet. He's also coming from the NBA, and he's been an offensive coordinator for several teams in the NBA. And he's really excited to get to Tallahassee and get going with us when their season finishes up.
Yeah, looking forward to that news here around the corner, that's for sure. This day and age, roster management is something that everyone is dealing with and looking to try and utilize in the best fit and the best way possible with what you have available to you. I thought it was great. 2 guys, a part of last year's team, are going to return, in A.J. Swinton and Alir Malouk. And many of our fans have seen the announcements out there of guys that have said yes, that have been here to you and to play basketball here at Florida State.
Yeah, first thing with the roster is I had to get to know everyone, right? Because I knew some of these guys, but I don't have great relationships. And getting to know them over the past couple, I'm really excited about AJ and Alir. They're both, Alir was supposed to be in high school last year, and he reclassed to come be a freshman. So I'm looking at him as a blank canvas, and he has a ton of talent and a ton of potential. And now this is a huge summer for him, and he's got to get to work. But he is a player that I think long term can have a really successful professional career. But he's got to put in the work, and he's got to get ingrained in what we're doing. And so far he has. He's been incredible. Great attitude. Good young kid. Works hard. Same thing with AJ. I talked to AJ's mother at the ACC tournament, and she's just like the most wonderful woman in the world. Yeah. Before I had even met AJ, and just hearing her talk about what he needs to work on and his work ethic, and then meeting AJ, and same thing, he's 19 years old, the whole world's in front of him, but we're excited as a staff for both of those guys' potential and to get our hands on them this summer and really help them develop. We think they're going to be huge pieces of what we're trying to do moving forward, so super excited to get both those guys to return.
Yeah, that's really exciting stuff, to say the least. With some of the pieces that you have brought in overall, some of the guys have been able to sign officially, some that we've seen announced on social media, not quite yet, but with some of the guys that you have brought in, talk about your excitement level with some of that going on.
I'm pumped, and it's hilarious. I told our staff in some of our early staff meetings before the portal opened, as a point guard, I need to sign a high-level point guard that's going to run our team, that's going to be my coach on the floor, and an extremely good center. And so what we did is we signed 6 wings to start. So the plans never go quite to, but we're so excited. We didn't think all these guys were going to sign, and we had 4, 5, 6 guys come on campus and on the spot committed to us. And it's a blessing, but it's also now you got to reshift some things. So we've got some high level guys that, good shooters, good size, good length, but highly skilled and highly character kids that we're really excited to work with. Obviously, those announcements are still coming out, and some of the paperwork still going through with their signings. So I'm not going to go into names, but eventually we will. The next, and then we signed obviously Alir as a hybrid big guy, and another kid coming from D2 who I'm really excited about. And he's been an all defensive player, all conference player at the smaller level, but a Florida kid that's going to come help us. So now we're all in on the point guard position. I'm starting last with what I said I would start with first. But the reality is there's a lot of good players out there. And we've had Zooms, we have visits set up in the coming days of a few guys we're really excited about that we feel like can not only run the team, but connect the team on and off the court. And again, as a position I played, I know how important that is. For myself and our staff to have trust in that guy that's going to help run the team.
Yeah. As much work as you're hearing Coach Loucks talk about with his team and his roster and his staff, putting everything together here in his first season at Florida State, you've also been very prevalent in the community as well. You have been out and about. FSU Day at the Capitol. You've been around our great supporters and alumni. I saw you at the Florida State-Florida softball game with Coach Norvell and Michael Alford together, and watching that amazing performance from the softball gals that night. And I know as you talk to our fans, their support is paramount in this time and this age for you and your program.
Yeah, I think it's important, and it's something that's meaningful for me and our family to be ingrained in this community. So in any way we can give back to the community, connect with those that support us, I think it's super important, and it's fun. It's fun to go to the Florida softball game and watch us beat up on the Gators a little bit. I think those things are not only for myself, for our staff, but especially for our players to understand the connection with Tallahassee and with all those that support us. And the reality is we're going to need to have that continued support for this thing to be possible. Yeah. We can't do it without the fans. We can't do it without the boosters and the donors that make all of this possible. So in any way we can connect and build authentic relationships, I'm going to spend every waking minute to do that. Number one, because it's vital, but number two, because I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy hearing their stories and getting to know the community and really reconnecting with a place that I used to call home.
1 month in, we can't wait to see what the next month brings. For hopefully some settled in as well. And,
we'll see.
A little less chaotic, Coach. That's right.
We'll see.
Always great talking to you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
There you go. He's Luke Loucks. My name is Jeff Culhane. For all your Florida State men's hoop needs, keep it locked in to Seminoles.com. And go Noles!